Hi, I'm Dave, and we're going to be talking about having a pet in a truck. I'm fixing to get an Aussie Shepherd to come with me in my truck. She's 9 months old and she just loves car rides. I'm getting her because I've been driving for 20 years. I do long haul and it does get lonely and depressing when you're gone from your family, your spouse. And so I decided to pick up my dog to combat that. Most of your truckers you'll see at the truck stops will have dogs. There are the odd couple or person that will have a cat and the odd person that will have reptiles or birds. Whatever floats your boat, whatever gives you that companionship, will do the same thing as a dog.
Hey guys, Ronan here. I wanted to personally thank you for watching this video. I've been recruiting drivers for about 15 years now, and I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories of how drivers are getting mistreated by their current employers and how they're being taken advantage of by our current industry providers. So I wanted to create a channel in order to unite North American drivers, share my knowledge, educate drivers to become more successful, and hopefully one day to make a positive impact on our industry. Some concerns that I have in our industry revolve around how drivers are being mistreated by their current employers, safety on the road, parking for drivers, and driver compensation. When we unite, we can make a difference. This video on this channel is not meant for recruiting purposes. As me and my team continue to produce high quality and interesting videos, I do need your support in order to make a difference in this North American market. Please subscribe to our channel. And if you're enjoying the video you're watching, give it a thumbs up. And now, back to the video.
Biggest pro, you're not alone. You have someone there, someone that wants to be with you. You have a furry buddy that you can talk to and go for a walk with. You know, you're not alone in the truck. Second pro of having a pet, if you have a dog, not so much a cat or a bird or a reptile, you actually get off your butt and go exercise because you take them for a walk, take them to the dog park. You actually get your joints moving and blood flowing. If you have a dog, no one's gonna mess with your truck because as soon as they try opening the door, that dog's gonna spring to action, bark, and they ain't gonna wanna mess with your truck. Or if you're asleep, you know, they'll protect you. So it's always nice to have that extra protection. Point number 4 is they're a good topic because you'll always have people at the truck stop or family. People will always ask questions. How the dog is, how you like it, having the dog with you, is it working out kind of thing. You'll always be talking about your little buddy. The things that make a pet harder is you will have to stop more because they have to use the facilities, go to the bathroom. If you're a dead sleeper, you may have messes in the truck. So plan for that. If you don't bring the right food, you won't get across the border. You're not allowed to bring lamb or rice in their food. It'll be denied. Not every truck stop has a dog park. So that's kind of, you have to plan that. So depending on where you are, at least at Love's Truck Stop, they have little dog parks. So you can take the dog out, can run around the dog park for half an hour, 20 minutes while you take your break, and they'll get their energy burned off and come back to the truck and relax. If they get sick, you have to get it to a hospital or a clinic, and it may be in the States. If you're from Canada, you're gonna be down for a day or two or a week. So additional time may be lost because of the pet. Another thing you have to factor in is if you have a pet, depending on what kind of pet they are or what breed or what they are, they may be more destructive. So if you're a company driver or something like that, you'll have to factor in more expense when you leave to replace if they rip something up or tear something up. In general, a smaller, low maintenance or less hyper dog would be a better choice, like a Shih Tzu or a Pocket Beagle. Yeah, a lot of people are going to disagree with the Pocket Beagle, but if you get a Queen Elizabeth Pocket Beagle, they are actually less hyperactive, low maintenance, and they're actually a pretty good dog for a truck. I know a couple buddies that have them. Shih Tzus are good because they're low maintenance. They'll just sit in the seat and look at you and just be there. That's generally what you'd be looking for. Something that isn't hyperactive, something that doesn't get bored really easily because then they'll start chewing, and something that doesn't get overly excited quick because then you'll have a lot of messes. If you look it up, Google recommends a pug, a Labrador Retriever, which I don't really understand that one, a miniature pinscher, a bulldog, a miniature schnauzer, miniature poodle, and a Yorkshire Terrier. So you're looking at generally smaller dogs. Take up less space, you know, low maintenance, not very hyperactive dogs. The obstacles that you will come up against is first off, if your company allows a pet or not. I've heard some companies don't, and that's probably due to bad experiences, like if someone's allergic to a pet and you don't always have the same truck, or the dog was destructive inside, so they just say, we don't want to deal with it. So a lot of companies are trying to get away from the pets, not realizing it's a huge health benefit for the driver. The biggest restriction most companies put on your pet is size. They would generally like to have a small dog, like a Shih Tzu, miniature pincher, that kind of thing. They rather have a small dog than like a Labrador or a Shepherd or something like that, because they figure potentially less damage or something along that lines, which it doesn't matter if you're a little miniature dog or English Mastiff, it's going to do the same amount of damage if it wants to. If they allow it, you may have to sign forms for cleaning of the truck once it's done. If you're a lease op or owner operator, it doesn't really matter, it's your truck. Most customers will allow you to bring the pet as long as they stay in the truck, as long as they don't get out. Then secondly, you have to go see a veterinarian and update all their shots, their rabies shots, everything, so they're up to date, and get a letter so they can cross the border. Then lastly, you have to make sure the food they're on will be allowed to get across the border. Presently, the only thing I know you're not allowed to take across for pet food is lamb and rice. But that is the thing you'd have to double check with the border crossing, make sure what food you're feeding them is correct and allowed. So it's been proposed that I'm more of a dog person. That is correct, I am. And why would I not take a cat in the truck? It's nothing against cats. It's against shedding that cats usually do, which a lot of dogs don't, or very little bit. And it's because a 24-hour litter box that you smell. That would drive me flipping insane. Okay, if you are a hardcore cat person, yeah, you would have to ventilate the truck somehow, and you probably could get a fan and ventilate it, but you would have to dump it more often. So every time you're at a truck stop or a rest area, dump it, and so you're gonna have to carry a lot more kitty litter and all that, which is an added space. I'm totally for pets, but these are the things you have to consider before getting one. You know, how much space are they gonna take up? How much space their stuff is gonna take up? Are they gonna affect you driving? Things that you have to, when you have a pet in your truck while you're driving, they might come up and try to get at you and stuff like that, to snuggle or whatever. So you gotta be aware of that. And you have to be on the ball of putting stuff away. A buddy of mine's dog decided to eat a bottle of mayonnaise. So you have to always put your food and stuff away so they can't get at it, in case that they get bored or hungry. Depending on the animal you get or the size you get, you need to block off access to the front so they don't interfere with operations of the truck. Being it you're shifting gears with a manual, hitting your pedals, or whatever. I'm not going to tell you how to block it off because every dog and cat is different. This is something you need to figure out. You make sure they have their own space, they're not interfering with your work, and everybody's comfortable. But you're going to need different block offs for a Shih Tzu as you would for a Great Dane. Every animal is going to be a little bit different. It'll take a little bit of trial and error, but that's one of the things, you know, give them their space, give them their area. They're not interfering with yours. Your average trucker, long haul trucker, is always gone 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks at a time, away from their families, away from their spouses, and that gets a little depressing after a while because you're alone, you're in a truck 24 hours a day, where when you pick up a pet, be it a cat, dog, bird, it's a companion, it's someone to be with, someone to talk to. In the trucker life, a lot of guys and girls are going that way, so they have somebody with them. So in conclusion, I am getting a dog. I'm getting my Aussie Shepherd. I'm not telling anybody straight up to get a dog or cat or not to. This is what I've found over 20 years in the trucking industry that is a big mental and physical benefit, and it's something to look into if you're serious about getting a dog, what your company policy is, what your state or province policies are to allow. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe and have a good day.